How are you going to explain this if you don't understand the age of accountability? Paul says, I was once alive without the law. Paul was once alive without the law? Paul was a Hebrew. Paul was a Jew. He grew up under Gamaliel. He grew up as a Pharisee. When was he ever without the law? Ask yourself that question. When was Paul ever without the law? Paul was never without the law until he had his encounter with Jesus and put his faith in Jesus. But we can't use that because that wouldn't make sense with this verse. He doesn't say, I am now alive, being freed from the law. Now, he says that elsewhere all the time. Most of Paul's writings have to do with us no longer being under the law and saved by God's grace through faith. But look what Paul says, the Hebrew of Hebrews who was born under the law. I was once alive without the law. But when the law came, sin came to life and I died. I don't think you will ever be able to satisfactorily explain this verse if you don't understand the age of accountability. If you don't understand that Paul, from the age of 0 to 19, was without the law and he was alive. He was exempt. He had a free pass in all things. But once he turned 20, just like we've seen in the Bible for inheritance, atonement, war, holiness, morality, eternity, relationship, obedience. And 8 is the number of new beginnings. When is your new beginning being responsible for these things? The age of 20. When Paul says, but when the law came, sin came to life and I died. When was Paul all of a sudden responsible? Now, in his case, under the law. But the principle, I believe, is for the entire Bible because Yahweh's principles don't change. And that is 20 years of age, the age of accountability. God bless you. I'm Doc Foxx. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching.